Congressman Evans, thank you so much for receiving us here.
Of course, thanks for taking the time.
I would like to start about the Dignity Act, this bipartisan bill that sparked a lot of discussion in recent days. For those who are not in topic, what is the Dignity Act?
Yeah, so you know my story, right?
Mm.
My abuelo, Cuauhtemoc Chavez, came to the United States. He got his citizenship with service in World War II, two Purple Hearts fighting with Patton's Third Army. And so for me, growing up, it was always taught to me that you want to come to the United States, you want to work hard, you want to raise your family here, you want to follow the laws, you want to pay the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're the national motto is e pluribus unum, right? Out of many one. We want to bring those people to the United States, and so what we've seen, and rightfully so, in the first 6 months of this new administration, is border security. We had to get the border under control. We had to make sure that we're keeping drugs and cartels and gangbangers and people out of the country. And we've done that successfully. Mm-hmm. So now that the border is under control, now that we have that national security piece in place, now we have to go back and look at the last 4 decades of the broken immigration system and figure out how do we continue to get rid of the gangbangers, the cartels, Tren de Aragua, MS-13, the cartels, Sinaloa cartel, the Jalisco cartel. How do we get all of the bad guys out of the country? But how do we have some sort of pathway forward for people that want to work hard? They want to pay their taxes. They're doing the right thing. They're not taking federal welfare. How do we build the pathway forward for them? And so that's what the Dignity Act does. It says if you've been in the United States before January of 2021, so before Biden threw the borders open, mm-hmm. If you've been in the United States before then, you're not taking federal welfare, you're not committing crimes or causing other problems, and you apply for this program and you're able to pass the background check, then every year for 7 years, you pay $1,000 fee. Mm-hmm. You get a work permit as long as you then continue to work hard, not take welfare, not get into trouble, contribute to the American society. And then after 7 years, then you get a green card.
And in your view, what is the most important aspect of this bill?
It really goes to the fact that we've had a broken immigration system for the last 4 decades. Mm-hmm. We had to secure the border, but there's more to fixing the immigration system than just securing the border. 42% of the agricultural workforce in the United States right now is illegal immigrants. Mm-hmm. I don't like that statistic, but that's the statistic that we have. That's the problem that we have to solve. And so the Dignity Act plays the hand that we're dealt, not the hand that we wish we had. And it says, this is the problem. We have to have some sort of pathway forward to sort out the good guys from the bad guys. And those folks that do want to work hard, they have to have accountability, because the fact is, you are illegally in the United States. Mm-hmm. So there has to be accountability. There's no free handouts here. But this program does give a pathway forward for those good, hardworking people who maybe don't have legal status right now, mm-hmm. but haven't committed crimes, aren't taking welfare, willing to pay their back taxes, willing to pay that $7,000 fee for 7 years to get their work visa, and then ultimately, if they complete the program, to get a green card.
And what will be your response to those Republicans and those conservatives that heavily criticize the Dignity Act?
That's really what we just talked about. We know this is a problem. Mm-hmm. We can't sweep this problem under the rug anymore. And so what better time to work on this problem than with an America First administration and an America First idea right now in the House and the Senate. We have to fix the problem at some point. Mm-hmm. It's been broken for 4 decades. And I think there's a lot of quiet support for this. Look at the Republicans that are supporting this piece of legislation. Mm-hmm. It spans the entire range of the Republican Party. We have a Freedom Caucus member who's supporting this bill. So it's not amnesty. It's not a free handout. It's a very, very tough bill in terms of law enforcement. For instance, it enshrines in federal law the self-deportation mandate. If you can't get legal status within 12 months under this bill, then under federal law, you're required to self-deport. Mm-hmm. We create another pathway to get legal status for good people, but it drives a fork in the road where you either get legal status, you work hard, or you leave. There's no other choices. So it's not amnesty. It's a tough bill to have accountability to fix the problems that we've had for the last four decades.
Let's turn briefly to the big beautiful bill. Democrats still argue that it's a bill designed to benefit the rich. Do you think that is a fair assessment?
Absolutely not. This is a bill that helps the working class and middle class Americans. Let's talk about the tax cuts in this bill. In my district, the tax cuts benefit the bottom 85% of wage earners. So that's things like increasing the child tax credit. I have 2 boys. Families like mine, working families like I was when I was a police officer, this would have put more money back in our pockets, and it will put more money back in the pockets of the bottom, about 85% of working families in Colorado. This gives tax cuts to small businesses. This gives no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. Millionaires aren't working in tipped professions. This is for working class folks, and it takes care of our seniors. The average retiree in the United States will pay no Social Security tax under this bill because of the additional tax cuts that we've given to seniors. This benefits the working and middle class and retirees.
And looking ahead, what can voters expect from the Republican agenda for the next year and a half?
Yeah, so with the big beautiful bill passed, 2 of the things that I want to continue to work on are, we've already talked about one, which is immigration reform.
Yeah.
We have to secure the border. We have to get the bad guys out and make our communities safe. But we also know that we have to also have the conversation and figure out some sort of solution for the broken immigration system for the last 4 decades. So that's one thing that I want to work on. And then another thing that I want to work on is basically cutting red tape around permitting. It is so hard to start a business or build anything in the United States. And if we can't build it or produce it in the United States, then that means it goes to China. So we want to reward work in the United States. We want to build things here again. Of course, we're going to take care of our environment. I have a kid with asthma. I want clean air as much as anyone else does. But we also have to build it in the United States. That gives us the jobs, that fixes our economy, and because we have the most economically and socially responsible regulations anywhere on the planet, if you build things in the United States, you actually reduce greenhouse gas emissions from around the world because we can produce for a fraction of the emissions something that China produces 10 times more emissions for to produce that same thing. So working to cut the red tape and do permitting reform so that we can actually build and reward work in the United States again.
And 2026 is approaching, quickly. What do Republicans need to do to maintain or maybe expand their majority in the House?
It's really just be able to continue to talk about everything that we've talked about right now. We are making life better for everyday working Americans with the tax cuts, with cutting the regulations that stifle business, with rewarding work again, with making our communities safe again, with getting the border secured, with taking care of our military. These are all of the things that make life better, safer, and more affordable for everyday Americans and Coloradans and folks that live in my district.
Congressman, last question. What will be your message to the Hispanic community, particularly to those who are moving away from the Democratic Party right now?
Yeah, look no further than myself, right? I am Latino, and we share, we are Latinos, and so we share the same work ethic. We share that same dedication to our families and to wanting to give our families that better life. Again, my abuelo, Cuauhtémoc Chávez, I've read some of his writings in his journal where he talks about doing what he did to give a better starting point in life for his kids. So that'd be my mom. And then knowing that his grandkids, me, mijito, we would have a better start in life than even my mom did. And so that's something that's so important to the Latino community, is passing on that better life, passing on that American dream, passing on that generational wealth. And so that's something that I believe in because that's my story. Yeah. And that's the story that my district is 40% Latino. That is something that they want to. And so being able to pass policies, work on policies, secure the border, but also have the Dignity Act for people that want to work hard, Those are the things that I'm working on because I'm Latino, and those are the things that I think the new Republican Party is continuing to expand and embrace as well. Like Ronald Reagan said, if we agree on 80% of things, that makes you an 80% ally, not a 20% enemy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Muchas gracias.